Listen, like I just want to get straight into it, man. Like I don't know what the hell is going on with Little Reese. You know what I'm saying? I know he come from a place where it's full of trauma, full of violence, full of this corruption and disruption and chaos. Somewhere down the line, it's either you don't care, right? Because some people just don't care. This is like a mild, this is like a mild, um, I want to say like a mild case of being superior. It's like a mild case of being superior. How how do you care about your children when you find yourself in uncompromised positions like this? So when people use the phrase "don't kick a person while they're down," I agree. All right. Again, I've always stated this. We all have shortcomings. We all have imperfections, right? We're not perfect. We try to live a life where we try to do the right thing, as much as possible. I mean, like the way we are structured, if you find a person at a certain age just doing the right thing, they're eating healthy, they're working out, they just working on them. I'm talking about even if it's 98% of the time they are working on them. That is amazing. Like I'm talking about amazing, right? So we don't kick a person when they're down. If they just so happen to mess up, right? You know what? You've been sober for 5 years and then you just so happen to take a drink. You've been lying about drinking. And it comes out that you've been drinking. Okay, you don't kick that person down. Okay? You don't kick a person like that down. A man just so happened to hit a woman. He smacked her. No, it's wrong. You don't do things like that. It's wrong, wrong, wrong. However, you don't kick this person down because guess what? Who knows what that man was going through? Is it an excuse? No. Does it happen? Yes. And he get himself together and never do it again. Okay? Like I get it. A woman had, when she was young, a woman had multiple kids by multiple men. She's older now. She got herself together. You don't kick her when she's down. You don't kick her when she's down. You know what, man? Well, I was young when I did this and I was young when I did that, but I got myself together now as a woman. I'm doing the right thing. You're not supposed to kick her when she's down. And I'm just using these examples because we all struggle. We all have shortcomings. We all do things that's not straight to the book. Yes, me. I'm just keep on the eye. I do things that's not always textbook. But I am a working progress. I am a working act. So, you got this guy, Little Reese, right? Little Reese, this kicking you when you down doesn't apply to you. It does not apply to you. Like, honestly, it's not even about kicking you. From my perspective, it's not about kicking you. It's about you're not learning the lesson yet. You have not been around men or been around somebody that can check you. Somebody that can put you in your place. Being checked does not mean you a punk. You a coward. You're not tough enough. Being checked means that it's a person that actually love you. It's a person that actually care for you. It's a person that's not trying to see you crash. You have not did this one time. I let you get away with it 2 times. You did this multiple times. You are a known aggressive, I guess, to certain people. You're heavily aggressive. You are heavily aggressive towards women. Is it the drugs? Like we gotta talk, bro. Because again, it's not a pass, but drugs make you do things that you don't want to do. Is it the drugs? You do drink lean. You smoke weed. You drink liquor. You probably pop a pill or two. It's more than just Percocets. When you take drugs, right? And let's say, for instance, depending on your mood, you can feel a certain way the next day, right? So, or you could feel a certain way before you take the pill, and then when you start taking the pill or whatever, you get into that act, right? You get into that mode. So, let's say, for instance, the drugs is wearing off. Now you're getting aggy. Even with weed, people, y'all have to understand that when a person don't smoke their weed, like let's say they used to smoke a weed in the morning, right? And when a person doesn't smoke their weed in the morning, guess what happens? They're aggy. They're frustrated. They're moody. Their mood swing. So for the weed smokers out there, let's stop acting like weed is, it's the most harmless drug, yes. But let's stop acting like weed doesn't put you in a mood where you're feeling real aggy and moody and you don't want to be bothered. And it may turn you into, it may make you a little aggressive. Not aggressive to enough to where as though you're scared, a person is scared of you, but it may make you a little aggressive. So let's say the drugs wear down. And now y'all having these arguments. Lil Reese could have been having an argument with his girlfriend. And yes, I'm sure drugs could turn you into a little monster. Putting your hands on women. Then it depends on what type of drug that you're using. Besides the weed, the Adderall, the Xanaxes, Percocets. Because let me tell you about Percocets. When you're going through withdrawal with Percocets, not only are you getting, I can tell you a bunch of stuff that you may be feeling in your body. You get headaches, backaches, cold sweats. How about this? You ever had the stomach virus? That's a part of the withdrawal. If you're not constipated, you're definitely gonna. It's like you're gonna be going to the bathroom back and forth. You get aggy because there's pain going through your eyes, your ears, your hands, your back, your face. Like you're so aggy and so anything can possibly make you just go crazy. But see, this is the problem. When you taking drugs, right, and then you find yourself hitting women, what do you think is going to happen? Eventually, you're going to do what? You're going to go to jail, sir. When you mix drugs and money together, drugs and money equals superior. Wa alaikum salam. Welcome to Allah Barakatuh. What's up, Queen? What's up with everybody that's on the chat? Angel, what's good? So, when you put money and drugs together, now you have a person that feels like they're superior. I got money to get out of jail. I got money to get you hurt. I got money. Lil Reese. How many times do you got to keep going through something? It's like you got 9 lives, sir. You ain't been shot once. You've been shot on 2 different occasions. I don't know how many times you've been shot, but you've been shot on 2 different occasions. You lost your voice. And you still out here putting your hands on women. You ain't just do this once. When you got locked up, I forgot when you got, bro, this has been going, yo, let me think. You've been seen on the streets smacking women. I'm going to say this again. Not a woman, but women. You've been on the streets under one video. Pushing, I'm talking about with aggression. Now, you're not strong. Like, you're not strong. Like, you're not going to, like, I'm 6'2", 270 pounds. Like, you're not pushing me the way you're pushing them. Even, you're small, you're a slim guy. But you're still a man. You're pushing women with force. Boom. You're grabbing women with your hand. You're smacking women. I see you smack under one video. You did all of that under one video. Then it's another video when you got locked up, right? When you got locked up, the police officers were saying, bro, we are coming here too many times. The police officer stated that we are here too many times. And Shorty kept giving you passes after passes after passes. Now, the first thing everybody gonna say is, oh, well, she must like it if she don't. It's a lot of victims out here that don't say nothing. I was physically abused. You know how long it took for me to say something? As a kid, I never really said nothing as an adult. I just started talking about this like almost 7 years ago. So and that's a different topic. However, it's a reason why people don't talk about abuse. They're scared. Some people may feel like that person love them and this is how they show their affection. Some people like it. It's so many reasons why a person don't talk about being abused. But when Lil Reese got locked up, when it was the police cam, right? I got it on my thumbnail. Sir, how many times did the police officer say, we came here, we've been here too many times? She's gone. You trying to use your little voice that you have left, calling her name, and telling the police, come on, bro, please, come on. I forgot Shorty's name, so I'm going to say, Shorty. This is how you was sounding. I forgot her name, but we're going to use Shorty. You was like, Shorty, Shorty, Shorty. Bro, it's like you never learned. Now you calling your girlfriend and she can't even hear you. You don't even have a strong voice. You calling her, Shorty, yo. The police officer like, she's gone. How many times did the police officers come up there? Then you're seen on video teasing a poor man. I'm talking about like you're antagonizing a homeless man. You actually grabbed the homeless guy, bro. Grabbed him on his head. So after a while, I had to say to myself, this is not about kicking you down. That phrase, don't kick a person while they're down, that does not apply to you. Yes, I believe your shortcomings, your superior being, I'm going to say this, you feeling that you're superior because you got the money overpowered your shortcomings, sir. You feeling like because you got money, because you survived some shots, you feel like you're being superior overpowered your shortcomings, along with the drug addiction. Trust me, I know you have a drug addiction problem. Trust me, I know you have trauma. Trust me, I know you've been through certain things and you never had real men around you that's going to raise you correctly. Trust me, I believe that this is true. But when you find yourself by yourself trying to pick yourself up, that's dead weight. What you need to do is beg for help and beg for mercy under the same tone and the same breath. You wrote on your page, I'm going to miss my daughters. No, sir. You're going to miss the women. You're going to miss the drugs. You're going to miss the lifestyle of you doing what you want when you want. Part of you is going to miss your daughters, but you don't miss your daughters when you're in your mode. You don't miss your daughters when you're in your act, when you're running your movie. You don't miss your daughters, sir. When you're running your movie, you don't miss your daughters. Why when everybody get locked up, the first thing they got to say is, yo, my kids. Were you thinking about your kids when you was in... Were you thinking about your kids when you was running your movie? When you was telling everybody, pop in your favorite movie, and you could picture how I live? Were you thinking about your daughters then? Were you thinking about your daughters when you were putting your hands on these women? Grabbing them, smacking them, pushing them. Were you thinking about your daughters when you was grabbing that homeless man? Were you thinking about your daughters when people were telling you to leave Chirac? Leave. And yesterday had the nerve to be Domestic Violence Awareness Day. Domestic Violence Awareness Day or something like that, something of that nature. Again, I'm not talking like I'm perfect. I am talking like, yo, I had to buckle down and say to myself, yo, go get help for your drug addiction. Because God kept waking me up. And I had to wonder, yo, God, why are you constantly waking me up knowing that I'm no good to my community? Knowing that I'm no good to me? Knowing that I'm no good to my parent? I mean, I'm not a good parent. Why do you keep waking me up? And I had to face the harsh reality because it's easy to die. It's easy to die. So why don't you live through this pain? And either you're going to keep struggling and going through pain, or you're going to find yourself trying to fix the pain that you're going through. I can easily kill you, take your You know what? I'm God. I'm Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I can easily take your life. Go ahead. That's what you want me to do? I can do that for you. That's easy. But imagine me keeping you here on this planet. Imagine me making you suffer and you get through it. Imagine me keeping you here, standing on your 10, suffering, and you get through it. And that's what I had to do. So when I be speaking, I'm speaking from experience. Lil Reese, you got to get your life together, man. Sometimes this ain't a sit down, this is a stand still. I'm going to say that again. This is not a sit down. This is just a stand still. Some of us got to suffer in different ways. You got some people that got to suffer through it in the streets. Like, you know what? I ain't get put to jail. But every day I was waking up, going through pain, going through withdrawal, shaking, sweating, constipated, anxiety, restless leg syndrome, tears coming down my eyes. I tried to commit suicide over and over and over again. When you got money, you don't think about suicide. You think about being superior. It's a difference. So I do believe that Lil Reese has a drug addiction problem. I do believe that he's controlling. That comes with it. I do believe that he has trauma that he's never... Listen, Lil Reese is 31 years old. He's 31 years old. Think about everything he's been through from 18 to 31. That's about, what, 13 years? That man been shot on 2 different occasions. That man has been exposed in the streets. It was a lot going on. He fighting and with his ops and shootouts and shooting with his ops. He come from Chicago. I mean, and listen, it doesn't even matter where you come from. You come from any black community, and I'm talking about any poor black community. It's a good chance that you're going to go through a lot. Whether it's Chicago, whether it's Philly, whether it's New York, whether it's Detroit, whether it's Baltimore, whether it's Newark, New Jersey, or just Jersey, period, whether it's Washington, D.C., whether it's Memphis, it's Atlanta, whether it's freaking Oklahoma, you're going to go through a lot if you're coming from a black community. Poor black community. My allergies, man. I went to an ologist. Did I say it right? I want to make sure I said that right. All right. So I am allergic to like certain trees, man. Like that. We talk about that later. But anyway. So I'm just like, bro, you never fixed the trauma from 18 to 31. Shout out to Chi-Town for sure. So you never fixed the trauma from 18 to 31, let alone trauma before then. And by you having money and being somewhat successful, or more successful than the average rapper that just be rapping, bro, you're not looking at it like you need help. You were begging the police officers, man, come on. Don't lock me up, bro. I can't get... You got multiple charges of aggravated assault. You have multiple charges on aggravated assault. I mean, multiple charges. Now you got this charge with you hitting a family member. You have an assault charge on a family member. I always say this, right? I don't believe that, you know, when they call a man a coward for hitting a woman, right? I agree. But that doesn't mean he's scared of other men. My thing is this. You don't have an anger issue. You have a controlling issue. Because there's enough ops out there for you to hit on. I'm going to say that again. It's enough ops out here for you to hit on. Facts. You don't have an anger issue, sir. Because if you had an anger issue, you will be putting in work. All the ops is not dead. You have a controlling issue. You're not a problem child. You're just a child with a problem. That's it. And now you about to be in a place where everybody got anger issues and controlling issues. And no matter how tough you are, it's somebody that's willing to go and take it to further measures than you are. I always tell young men, right? And I tell mothers this too. Y'all need to stop saying y'all sons got anger issues because they don't. They don't. They got pick issues. They suffer from pickle. Because a person with anger issues don't have picks. Oh, he has anger issues. We're working on it. No, you don't. He got spoiled issues. He got mommy, you spoiled me issues. And I want everybody to treat me how you treat me. So when mommy say no and I cry and wimp and then mommy said okay, that's what I'm going to do with the women that I come across. The difference is as I grow up and become a man, now I can use the win to, yo. But when another man tell you no, the rhetoric changes to, but you supposed to be my man. No, what happened to all the aggression? You're just a child with a problem. That's it. You're just a child with a problem. And in prison, it's not about it's not about you being scared to go to prison. You're going to come across men that's not trying to scare you, but they're trying to learn you and educate you. This is how men carry it. You got guys in there that got 15, 20 years and they got another 15 more to go. They have a system that they follow. You are not above the program. Go get some drug help. Go get some mental help. Deal with the pain of you, your trauma. Realize that you have issues that you have never fixed. And watch you become a better man. And this is for anybody else that's going through this. Because it's deeper than you just hitting, you putting your hands on women. It's deeper than that. You got some men that may have grabbed a woman, may have did certain things, and it's like, you can even ask the woman, well, do you believe he's a woman beater? No. Not at all. Then you got some men that's, yo, I'm smacking out of a woman. Not only am I doing, man, I did that shit multiple times. It's been put on camera. It is all about therapy, Queen. It's okay to go to therapy. My drug addiction, me being addicted to drugs and have mental health issues go hand in hand. Hand in hand, right? Hand in hand. The more drugs I took, the worse my mental health got. The more drugs I took, the worse my mental health got. So when I went to a drug rehab facility, not only did they help me get off of drugs, I still got to mentally cope with the things that I've been through, because the way I was coping with the things that I've been through mentally was the drugs. So once you put the drugs down, you still got the mental health issues coming. You still got the mental health issues. I'm still thinking about when my parents weren't around. I'm still thinking about being mentally abused, physically abused. I'm still thinking about the times that I stole from from my children. I'm still thinking about the criminal activities that I committed. I'm still thinking about the people that I owe money to. I'm still thinking about the pain that I've been through since I was born. I'm still thinking about these things. So over and over again, how do I fix them? Just because I put the drugs down doesn't mean that I fix my mental health. So therapy was needed. So a drug rehab facility plus therapy goes hand in hand. How do you cope with your triggers? How do you recognize your triggers? Oh, you've been through this too? See, this is the thing, right? We're so selfish that we feel like we're the only ones that go through something. And it's so crazy because we've been programmed and instilled to handle it on your own. If Adam and Eve didn't handle it, if Adam didn't handle it on his own and Eve didn't handle it on her own, what makes you think you can handle it on your own? I don't know one person that was created by God that did it on their own. And you can put that in any context you want. In order for something to work, you need a team. So when I'm going to when I go, talk to people and I'm listening to them, and it's like, okay, you went through the same thing I went through. Wow. Tell me, what did you do? Because I did this and it didn't work. We live in a world where there's 8 billion plus people. You mean to tell me you're the only one that went through it? So for me, I need to be around certain people because it's like, how did you do it? I have no ego, no pride. I want to know, how did you do it? And once you give me the recipe, I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know. I didn't know. Thank you. Now I know how to handle that when these triggers come around. These things have never been brought to our attention. When you're growing up, the first thing that you're learning how to do besides natural things, comprehension skills, don't touch the fire, and don't mess with that outlet, that plug over there, and don't pick up things and put it in your mouth. Those are basic things, right? Then we get into that educational thing about learning how to say your ABCs, and it's learned behaviors, taught behaviors, forced behaviors. These are comprehensive levels that you're learning on. After that is survival mode. And if you don't believe me, and if you come from the hood like I do, no matter what part of the country you live in, watch out for your brother. Watch out for your sister. Don't talk to strangers. Anybody fight, you better jump in it with them. Don't let nobody hit you. I was born in the 80s, so back in the day, it used to be, if they talk about they want to take you home, because guys, people would drive cars and say, oh, do you need a ride? Don't open up the doors for strangers. If this is all we got in the house, you put that food with that food, your concoction is put together, and now you made yourself a meal. These are all survival modes. How to wash clothes, or we ain't got a wash and dryer. We don't got money for the laundromat. So this is what we gotta do. Put some dish detergent on your sneakers and scrub them, and hand wash your drawers or whatever, hang them. And like, these are all survival mode. We weren't taught how to challenge ourselves into being great. We weren't taught to tap it into a diamond. We were taught the richest place in the world is Africa, Dubai, Hong Kong, not knowing the richest place in the world is the grave. Because while we're being taught how to survive, we got trillion-dollar ideas stuck up in here. Trillion-dollar ideas stuck up in here. And we've been challenged to survive instead of being challenged to tap into this diamond that's a trillion-dollar idea. So when you go to the grave, man, I can guarantee you damn near all of them had trillion-dollar ideas, but it's too late. So we got to get help. We got to get help. It's a baggage. I did a speaking engagement on Sunday, and I had carried a bag up, and it's a nice bag. And I asked the people, what you think is in this bag? And a couple people said some other things, clothes, merch, all types of others. And then one person said trauma. And everybody liked the way the bag looked. And I said, yes. You carry this nice bag, and everybody like, oh, yo, that bag fly. That bag is lit. Yo, that's a nice, where you get that from? That's you. You look nice. You smell nice. You have a beautiful smile. You wear nice clothes. You look clean. You keep yourself well groomed. But deep down inside, from the top to the bottom of your toes, tippy toe, it's nothing but trauma. And the first thing we want to say is, I keep pushing. You don't see me complaining. You don't see me talk about nothing. But let me explain something to you. You can sit back and not say anything, right? And you feel like by you not saying nothing, you're staying away from people that are saying something. I'm here to tell you, you're wrong. Because what you're doing is compressing your mental health with other things. Well, what could that be, B. McFly? You're probably overweight. You may not be complaining about nothing to people, but you damn sure eating. You're eating. And what you're doing is depressed eating. So, cool. You're strong. You're mentally strong. But you're depressed eating. And you're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That was me. And or you're aggressive. You're argumentative. You're subjective. You're not a devil. You're not an angel's advocate. You're a devil's advocate. Say that again. You're not an angel's advocate. You're a devil's advocate. You notice how they got the phrase devil's advocate, but they don't have an angel's advocate. So you find yourself always being combative. Find yourself always being argumentative. Find yourself being subjective because guess what? It's your world. Or the minute somebody's trying to talk to you, now you're ready to argue and fight. I mean, or they do the opposite. Right, and barely eat. That's a fact. Don't eat at all. And then when a person see you, it's like, oh, yeah, I'm doing good. Oh, you look like you're losing weight. Let me tell you something about weight, right? It's two things you can't hide. That's your intelligence and that's your weight. It's two things that you can't hide. I'm sure it's more of them. But your intelligence and your weight. When a person is losing weight, you can see healthy weight and you can see stress weight. You can tell that they're losing healthy weight. And then you can tell that they're losing stress weight. Mad bags. Like I got bags under my eyes, but it's not a stress bag. When you got a stress way about you, your face is droopy like this. Your face is droopy. So you either losing weight or gaining weight because you're depressed eating or you're depressed stressing or depressed starving. You're depressed eating or depressed starving, right? And or you're aggressive, you're combative, you're a devil's advocate. You're always politically correct and always subjective. Or you just want to punch on shit. You want to hurt somebody. Because there's ways of being aggressive. You're not loving. You're not compassionate. That's 2. 3. Either your sex drive is to the moon or you don't have a sex drive at all. You have a husband, you have a wife, and you're not emotionally attached. You're not, or you find yourself having sex with multiple people, not because you the H word. It's because you're looking for love. You want to be loved. You want to be cherished. And this is men and women. You want to be held because you wasn't held as a baby. You wasn't held as a baby. You were a warrior, men and women. You were a warrior the minute you came out the womb. Or you've been violated. So so the sex piece, a lot of us use sex to compress our mental health. You look like you smoke weed while reading the Bible type of guy. Nah, I don't even know when the last time I smoked. I don't even know when the last time I took a drug. Facts. January the 21st, 2025 will be 7 years. I can show you a picture of when I used to smoke. Lips wasn't this, like this. The rings around my eyes were dark. Face was narrow. So, I don't smoke weed. Anyway, you can look at no fun. You can look at a person and tell that they're a smoker though. Like, so people use sex to compress their mental health. And last but not least, drug addiction. Or any type of addiction. Porn addiction, gambling addiction, social media addiction, drug addiction, food addiction. But I picked drug addiction because a lot of people use drugs to compress their mental health. So we got food, drugs, sex, that's a fact. Food, drugs, sex, and aggression are the 4 things that people do to compress their mental health. And Lil Reese has demonstrated at least 2 out of the 4 that I mentioned. Drugs and aggression. And there's so many men out here that's suffering from the same pain. There's so many women out here that's suffering from the same pain. What do we do to change it? We have to honestly, no. I'm going to take that word honestly out. We have to be transparent with our emotions. Because the first thing a person going to say is, well, if I tell somebody about what I'm going through, you just going to laugh at me. Well, I'm going to say this. Would you rather a person laugh at you because you're getting the help, or would you rather a person laugh at you because you need help? Would you rather a person laugh at you because you're getting the help, or would you rather a person laugh at you because you need help? Transparency is a great thing. Because when you're being honest, right, you give the bare minimum. Like, for instance, yeah, I used to use drugs. Yeah, that's being honest. Yeah, I used to take pills and mix the pills with Xannies. I took dope. I took I smoked weed. Now that's being transparent. I sniffed pills. I took fake pills, e-pills. That's being transparent. So I just hope that Lil Durk Lil Durk. I just hope that Lil Reese, all these littles, man, like, come on, man, that's the problem. They need to start thinking big. Big Reese. I hope Big Reese get himself together so he can be a Big Reese and bounce back. Word. Bounce back. And if you suffering from addiction, you suffering from mental health issues, man, tap in. If you know somebody that's suffering from addiction and suffering from mental health issues, man, putting their hands on women and, having controlling issues, anger issues, like, tap in. Send this video out. Because we all need somebody. Stop walking around with a constipated mentality. Stop walking around with a constipated mentality. The more you bottle it all in, it's going to explode. Share it to the world, man. Help somebody help you. Help somebody help you, please. Thank you, Angel. All right, man, till next time. I'm about to revamp and go on another live. This is probably about to be something totally different, man. But please subscribe, share. You know what I'm saying? Let's build this community. This is a human, no judgment, not looking for you to be perfect. Be yourself, man. Be yourself. But however, be yourself. But be the change that you want to see. Be the change that you want to see. All right? Love y'all. Be McFly. stands for being motivated comes from loving yourself. B McFly stands for being motivated comes from loving yourself. Man, to the top, y'all. Let's go.